Look at this. How did we end up here with this box? Well, this wooden box is not wood, it is actually plastic and foam. And I will show you how I made it. Okay, so the first step in making this box, I gotta figure out how big I want to make it. So I got some of my regular cars here that I made in the past, trucks, old cars. I figure out how big to make it, and I'm just using my cutting mat here to figure out how big I want to make this. Because what I plan on doing for this wooden box is gonna have it based on all these. Really the biggest one that I have is the plow, and it's just because of the plow extending. But this box is pretty much mostly gonna hold cars and trucks that don't have a plow. So this is my longest one that I have. And it's 9 inches, but I don't want it all the way because I'm gonna have a trim of wood on top, about 3/8 of wood right here, and then plus I'm gonna have a little bit of the fabric showing and then the car. So I'm honestly gonna go about 10 inches in length, and based on all these from the top, I'm probably gonna go 4 to 4.5. I think I'm gonna go 4.5. That way I have that extra room and the wheels aren't touching the wood, and it'll be enough room. So really the only thing that throws off is a plow, but I won't be using those. This is also my longest one, and this is pretty much the same thing. It's 9 inches. I'll probably throw an extra inch because it'll have that 3/8 of wood right here and here, and also on the sides. So I have that extra room so it's not touching. So this is what I came up with. And so it's gonna be 10 by 4.5, and I'll have sorry, I can't draw straight lines. It'll be about 3/8 on top of right here. This, I guessed, about 3/4 of an inch in height. I don't know how high I was gonna make it, but where'd it go? I have this that I got, and this is a 1 by 1 inch thick. It's an inch thick, it's 1 foot long, and it's 8 inches wide. So all I gotta do is cut it, and then it'll be the right size, right height. I'll just use this height. I won't bother cutting anymore. But I got this from my local retailer. I was gonna use it for something else, but honestly this works better. I have others down there that are smaller and thinner, and well, this one works the best. I'll probably get another one for something else later down the line. But all I gotta do is mark this up and cut it. Okay, so I measured it out on here. I got my lines, 10 inches, 4.5. I'm just using my car to double check everything before I start cutting. And that's pretty much how big I want it. So that's about right. So now we can start cutting. Okay, now that I have this cut out, I don't need this anymore, and I'll use it for something else. All I did was cut it with my X-Acto knife on one side, and then went to the other side and cut the other half. And then I just tried to trim it by going like this and cutting off all the extra little pieces I couldn't get. So that's as flat as I'm going to be able to make it before I destroy it. I don't want to make too much of a mess. This is all set and done now. Now I have extra pieces of styrene sheets that I haven't used, and I'm going to take these and cut them to the sides of this. And I'm going to take the extras and cut it so I have the like the little 3/8 section of plastic up here, and then I'll have it look like it's a wood box put together. And then whatever, if I don't have long enough ones, because I know I'm running on scraps pretty much, because I got a couple pieces that are only like this big and they're not big enough, so if I do that, I'll just fill it with Tamiya putty and sand it out and make it look like one big piece. So it's really no biggie, as long as it's the same depth. I think they're all like 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter thick, so it should be all good. But yeah, all I gotta do is cut them for the 4 sides, and then I need the 4 strips for here. And then once they're on there, I can glue them on, and then I will paint them. I'll probably paint this, I don't know if I paint this first or last, because this is just gonna be black. It's just gonna be flat black, and it's gonna look like felt, like felt or some type of carpet. So I'm not too worried about that. With these, I'm gonna paint up and make it look like wood, like it's the wooden box around. So let me get to that and try and show you that. Okay, I got the sides all cut, and I got them marked in how I want them. So I got both the long sides cut and trimmed up. I wanted them to be even or just below this, the actual foam plate, because I'm gonna have another piece of styrene on top going over. So I got the 2 big sides done, and then I also got the little sides done. Now to cut these, I used, well, first I used the X-Acto knife, but because these things are so thick, let's see if I show you how thick they are. I actually broke the tip of my X-Acto knife, so I kind of stopped using that because it was hurting my hand, and I grabbed a pair of scissors. These are a strong pair, so I just used that and cut them, and then I trimmed them, but little I needed to. But all I gotta do is glue those on, and those are all done. And just gotta do is paint them, do a little bit of putty. Now the next part is getting the little trim on top of the actual like board. So I will cut that next. Let me get to that, and then I'll show you when those are all cut and done, and I'll have this mocked up. Alrighty, figured I'd do an update, seeing as I got so far. I don't want you guys really miss too much of what I do and get too far ahead. But for the box, I added a lip to it, and I didn't want to use putty because I needed a lot of it. So I used Terrain Sand Desert for diorama, and I just put it over the whole top. What I did is I have this 8K carving foam. It's 10 millimeters thick, which is just over 1/4 inch. This stuff is extremely brittle. It breaks very easily. I have all kinds of extra chunks laying around because pieces I cut they break. Like, it just breaks very easily, but it's at the same time it's sturdy. But I used this and I cut it to the length of this. I just went 3/8, or maybe a little more than 3/8. I just went the width of this, so it's 1/2 inch. So I went 1/2 inch instead of 3/8, make it a little easier. And I just did a border around the top, and then I cut a new piece of styrene and put it on the side, and I glued it on there. And then I took the sand diorama and put it on top and smoothed it all around. I waited a day for it to dry and then sanded it. That's why it kind of looks dirty. It's all going to get painted anyway, so I don't care what color it looks like right now. So I was using that. Like I said, this stuff is extremely brittle. It's like chalk. I mean, you can just use your fingernail and you'll scrape off huge chunks of it. But it does work great for if you're making dioramas for anything. And then on top of the base, I made a cap. I made a top. So that way, I did the same thing. I just cut it to the length. I only did a little lip. It's the same width, 1/2 inch thick and 1/2 inch in depth. And you'll notice I cut out kind of this little area. Well, this is gonna sit up here like this somehow. I'm still technically waiting for this to dry. I'll sand this all down and make it the same color. This is gonna be black and this is gonna be black. But I have this mirror that'll fit right in there. So that way, this will be on there like that, like a lid, and then the car will sit here. That way, it'll sit like that. And then people can see the backside of the car. So it'll look like a nice little box. Be displayed. Oh, but still got more ways to go. Add to more waiting and sanding, and then finally I'll probably be able to paint this. Okay, I got the box as good as I'm gonna get it, and it's ready for paint. So I got it some puttied, I got it sand filled in. So this is what it looks like as for now. Most of this is gonna get covered up anyway. So I got like a black fabric that's gonna go over this here and over here. And then I'm gonna put the mirror over that fabric here. And then I'm gonna paint this thing red. Just paint the outside red. Everything inside is just gonna be black. But I'm gonna put the fabric down over the black so the tires don't stick to the paint. Then when I'm done painting it red and it dries, I'll do like black washes, or I'll wash this black paint in burnt umber and probably a brown, maybe, depending on how it turns out. But I'll do it to make it look like wood. So this is a reddish wood box. And then I have the mirror in here, and then the car. And the only thing I do figure out now is how I'm gonna be able to prop this up and hold it. Right now, there's cans, there's jars behind there holding it right now. I'm gonna have to I think I'm just gonna do strings, the whole string theory that boxes do, and have a like a string. It goes from this corner to that corner, and then the same thing from here to here. And then I'll probably drill little holes in the corners here on the bottom here, and I'll put copper wiring in there, and that'll be like a like an inside hinge. And then I'll have the wires here, or a rope, whatever you want, whatever it's gonna be. And I guess that's how you making that hinge. Okay, I just sprayed. I went outside, took this outside, and I sprayed this flat red with a tester spray can. And now that it's cured for a day and let it dry, I'm going to take Hall Red, some burnt umber, and chocolate brown, German brown, and do a wash on this, and hopefully it'll turn out really good. So just set the camera up, and then you can watch that with some music. Okay, the box is done. I painted it black for the insides. So I got the hinges in. Instead of the copper wire, I used nails. Just bent them. I already drilled out the holes. I bent them, put it in there, and it actually holds it very well. Nails are nice and sturdy. Me painting this, I had a chocolate or German black. I did not use that. I only used Hall Red and Burnt Umber. So I only use these two because when I put on the black, it just drowned out the red. So I washed it off and then redid it. Instead of fabric, I just have this piece of plastic in there, and that is actually from Evergreen Scale Models, and they have all these clear sheets in here, and I actually used one of the yellow ones for windows and stuff. They have all kinds in here. There's yellow, red, green, blue. So clear, see-through. Black is in there, so that's where I got the black sheet from. And so I cut the sides, I put it in here, put it up here on the top, and then I just pushed the mirror over it. So this thing is pretty much done. I do like how the wood grain turned out on this. On the sides, I got it on the top. So, and then I have my stickers with my name on it that a co-worker made for me, and I actually did a really good job. So I cut the sticker and I just put it on the top of the what would be the top of the box. I left the top black and I just stickered it. So why not promote myself, right? And where is my car? Holds car. Very nice, very beautifully. This is a very old Nova I made. I made this a long time ago. Yeah, this holds it. Looks very nice, very good. I'm happy how it turned out. It's I mean, it'll hold just about almost anything. So even the old Jeep Rancho that or Honcho. So let's get this over to some better light. Let's get this to some better light and get a better car in there. And there you have it. Nice with the white background. My nice Oldsmobile that I made. Hopefully you've seen the video on. Set the hood off to the side. Looks great. This works good for if you want to show this off at a car show or just have it single out your newest model that you made. But this is for me, and I like how it turned out. I was thinking about putting a mirror on the bottom. That way you could show off like the bottoms of the cars and stuff. But I really don't do that whole extra stuff because you never see it anyway. So I decided against it and just had the mirror on the back. And I like how it turned out better. Even got a nice place just to put the hood, set off to the side, show off the engine. Still can't believe it ended up like this. And if you guys go to the Detroit Area Auto Modeler Show, Motor City Madness 23. That is a model show that is in Michigan on March 24th. You will most likely see this there, because I will bring this and display a car. But thank you for being on this little journey of mine of taking nothing and making something other than just a normal model kit with instructions. This one is pretty much just figure it out on my own. Oh, I had an idea and I made it come to life. Thank you for watching. I still post on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to follow me on there, I'll post those down below. And have a good night. Thanks.